Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
Black Elvis, we in the building.
Man, we back with another episode. Thank you to all of the people who support, all of the subscribers, man. It's been a wonderful journey, man, and we appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you check us out on all of the platforms that we stream the podcast, Apple TV, YouTube, and Spotify. Definitely appreciate all the supporters, man. How you feeling, El?
I feel awesome this morning, awesome. Monday morning, top of the week, time to get to it.
Yes, sir. So, El, man, we've been kind of giving a precursor to this show a couple of weeks past, talking about really breaking down the details on how and why kids should be training and the areas of improvement that they should be looking to do in terms of being recruited or just basic development.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's just talk about a little bit about the state of AAU basketball and things that are happening right now. Obviously, high school's not happening. AAU basketball is kind of still going on because there's still a space and a place for people to kind of create events, some of which are doing a great job and doing it safely, some not so much. But, you know, kids are staying active, and I haven't heard too many cases of things going awry. So that's a good thing, you know, in contrast to some of the stuff we saw in the parks with the summer with the violence.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that. But now, you know, you got people saying, hey, we're going to do stuff on ESPN. We're going to, you know, continue AAU, which would be considered like, I guess, fall, winter AAU in high school, which is not, this hasn't been prevalent in recent years because high school basketball season will be happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell me, man, what's your basic thought on where kids are with their development and what this state of this increased AAU is with into the winter and the fall?
Well, where we are as far as development is concerned in New York City, I feel that we're behind. Okay. And I'll give you a perfect example. One thing I realized, and thanks to you, and the reason why I give you the credit is because I always thought I was a trainer. Then I got an opportunity to watch you train. You showed me how much I was not a trainer. Okay. First things first, to be a trainer, you must be a teacher.
Right.
If you're not teaching, you're not training. If your temperament is too high, which means you're intense, you're yelling, that works for some kids. That doesn't work for every kid. And what I realized is, who's training the trainers?
Good point. Good point.
You know, I mean, just for me to sit there and understand that I feel that I'm a decent trainer, and then I'm in the gym with you and you're doing the total opposite of what I do. I'm screaming, trying to get the kids to get going. You're stopping. I'm watching you. You're holding the ball with the body language like, you ready? You threw me in the ocean when you did that, because everybody goes left. Everybody's like, yo, let's go, let's go, let's go. I seen the kid go more harder after you stop, hold the ball, walk around for 2 seconds and look at the kid. You ready?
Right. Right.
You know you did it. You understand? And this is, you didn't know I was going to bring this up in this show.
Right.
But I have to use that as an example of a basketball player picks up a ball. You can be self-taught, of course. But when you're dealing with children, you have to be conscious that they're like sponges. And you want to instill confidence in them. The way you instill confidence in a child is you talk to them and you teach them, because you cannot hold the child accountable until they're at the level where you should hold them accountable.
Excellent.
Elaborate.
Excellent points. Part of it is the first thing you underscore was being a teacher. And in order to teach, you have to learn the student that you're teaching, or students, or the group, or the class, or the team. And your point is so spot on with respect to knowing each kid, and you got to be able to kind of connect with them. And a big thing that I'll point out as well is there has to be a certain level of trust. The kids have to trust that, number one, you care about their well-being outside of basketball. This training that you're doing is for them and not for you, right? Because yes, you may benefit financially. Yes, you may benefit from the credit that you get for building the kid up and, being a potentially good player or coaching them on an AAU team or a high school team. But if you go into it with the benefit for you, that's also something that can be sensed. You're upset because you're training a kid and he has a big AAU or high school game the next day and he's not making shots on a Friday night. And Saturday's the big game. And you're upset because you feel like his rhythm isn't there and he's not going to be able to perform for you. As opposed to saying, you know what? Take a minute. Gather your thoughts. You know what I mean? Think about what you want to do. Like, you got this. You be confident. This is what you do. You're a shooter. So now you're taking a different approach. So there's a psychology to training as much as a technique.
Absolutely.
And I think when somebody trusts you, whether it's basketball or otherwise, I think you can get them to do more from you when there's no barrier between somebody's agenda and the level of trust. So that's the approach I take, and I take it serious, regardless if I'm training somebody who is a former player for free or somebody who's paying me to train. It's the same effort, the same mindset, the same preparation, the same intensity, and the fulfillment is the same because I'm going into it with the mindset to help, and the gain is usually from the help.
Well, E, you know how I do. If I talk about it, I want to show the visual to it.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
First things first, let's give some props to your guys' book and all of them over at Gauchos and Wrens for, elaborate just maybe a little bit about that.
Yeah, so obviously the Wrens and the Gauchos merged. Heard a lot of feedback. Monday Morning Quarterbacks, Peanut Gallery, everybody talking about what was good about it, what was bad about it, how it's going to affect the city. The truth is nobody knows, right? But the people who put the deal together, they obviously saw the benefit of it. And I think there's no better way to get that insight than to speak to the people directly. So, I'll leave that there.
Got you.
Let it come from their words and not mine. But my interpretation is if it's good for you and you think it's beneficial and you can, help the city's game is what they kind of underscored in their statements. And we haven't heard much from them since. If it's going to benefit the kids and benefit the city, let's see. Let's not always judge and let's just watch it play out. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the people who's speaking on it, I get the connection to New York City basketball, but a lot of people aren't going to be directly affected by it. So that's their cross to bear and their situation to kind of unfold. So that's my thought.
Absolutely. So I think this show, the name of this one should be The Importance of Proper Training. Because we have people who train, but are they training properly? Definitely want to give, just want to talk a little bit about Jamel Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's one of the kids that we highlighted. I have to honestly say, the hype and the word is he's the top 7th grader in the country as far as point guard's concerned. He might be the top 8th grader in the country at his position.
Well, I want to dispel a couple of myths, right? Number one, he's a great kid. So I've dealt with him. His temperament is fantastic. He's always got a smile. Number two, he's a really good student. So if you're a great kid and you're a good student and you're a good basketball player and you're a middle school kid, I think you're doing a great job and I think your parents are doing a great job. So let's just stop there. Now, with respect specifically to the basketball part of it, the hardest thing that I think that LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have had to live up to, and for all of the players who come in with that hype, is to be expected to perform at a high level on a consistent basis and then go out and meet those expectations and then a lot of times exceed those expectations. And that's the one thing I see with Magic Mel is that he does that on a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis, man.
So that speaks to a mindset, a focus, and a determination of the kid. We understand what, the level and the demand that Scooter puts on them in terms of their work ethic, right? But you also see that, they're goofing around and dancing and having fun. So
having fun, yeah. They're being kids too.
You see what I'm saying? So everybody's always so quick to judge. Let's celebrate the kids who are doing well, and let's celebrate the kids who are actually keeping the city relevant. And he's doing that.
He's keeping us relevant. Another kid. By the way, both of these kids are the two kids that we did the exclusive bottom to the top training with E. Jones. Zaire Johnson. This weekend, you got an opportunity to have him work out at OSL. He's working out with high school and college kids.
Well, first of all, he's 11 years old. I'm going to go again back to the baseline of what I always talk about. He's a great kid. He's a straight A student. He's 11 years old. He's constantly in the gym. He's constantly around successful people. And he's extremely humble. What more can you ask for an 11-year-old to be, a great kid, mannerable, humble, great student, and a talented basketball player? So
definitely,
as a trainer, at the end of the day, you're going to make shots, you're going to miss shots, you're going to go hard. Sometimes your effort may lack. But I know that you love the game because this is the stuff that you talk about. I don't have to force you to talk about basketball or force you to come to a workout. He's initiating it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, when can I get in the gym again with Coach E? So for me, that speaks to the relationship that I'm beginning to create with him.
Absolutely.
And from a short period of time over the few months that I've worked with him, it's been a pleasure to work with the family. Big Zah and the support of his mom is tremendous. And at the end of the day, I just want to do the right thing by families that trust me to work with their children to not only be a basketball trainer, but set an example of somebody that their kids can emulate as a person. So
that's big, E. That's big.
So
all right, well, I guess let's get to that exclusive content.
So let me preface this real quick by saying what we try to do here is not only show the skill set and the skill work, and not everything is perfect, but we try to explain what we're doing, why we would be doing it, and get the details so you guys can, take the free advice and use some of these training techniques, ball handling, shooting, screen and roll, to just be able to say, hey, this is stuff you can work on. I don't own any of this stuff. A lot of this stuff, I created. So, and I took from other people that I saw that were doing great stuff. And if it's going to help the kids, your kid or kids you coach, thank me later.
Free smoke, free smoke.
There it is.
Check it out.
Hold up, fellas. Everything good? All right. Y'all ready to work? Put a bag. Put some stuff on. We're going to get right to it. Y'all ready? Let's go. It's lit.
What would you have done if you had been me? I live and breathe what I believe. I always knew I had it in me. I live and breathe what
Okay, what we got here is the guys coming around me. They're taking the ball, cutting across the lane, and using a dynamic finish on the reverse with the inside hand. The purpose of that is to be able to get through the defense and be able to find the angle to either get behind or under the defense. So the purpose here is to be able to have the guys dribble with good form, head up, butt down, back straight, and be able to pound the ball for 30 seconds at a time. As you start to get fatigued, you have to increase your level of concentration. And then we alternate drills, whether it be a pound, an alternate, a zigzag, a wiper drill, All of those things are creating more muscle memory and good habits in terms of dribbling form, so you'll be able to control the ball, keep your head up, and always see the court.
Butt down, sit, good, 10, 9, push, 8, 7 pounds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, side to side, go, side to side,
As the guys are dribbling, what I'm trying to do here is test their balance, making sure they're keeping their butt down, head up. The goal is to make sure they're doing it correctly. It's not about how fast you can go or what you're trying to prove. It's more about the technique and repetition, so they become more skilled at the specific drills. On this one, you can see the guys dribbling up the lane, making a pivot move, going between the legs, head up, always controlling the ball, making a curl move, catching, make a pass, curl back to the ball, stay low, hands ready, rip, create space, hard step back, then be able to get a shot off with balance and spacing.
Good, good. Go, Tom. Head up. Good. Good pass, good hit. Hands ready. Good, rip it. Go. Catch. Right here. Grip. Face. Shot.
As with anything, you want to be balanced as a basketball player. So like we work on offense, we want to be able to work on defense. Very important to always keep your hands active, stay low in a defensive stance. Again, being athletic, keeping your butt down, playing on the balls of your feet. Again, as a defender, you always want to have your hands active and you want to be vocal. So we're practicing closing out, calling shot, backpedaling as if the ball was moved in transition, and we're backpedaling to go back on defense. So all of those things are being combined in this drill: the slide, the closeout, being vocal, the backpedal, and keeping your hands active.
Shot. Got it? Get back. Where your spot at, son? Hold on. Shot. 4, 5, 6. Shot. 7, 8, 9. Shot. 13, 14, 15. Here. 1, 2, 3. Got it? So walk through it real quick.
So here's a dynamic set of moves. Have the player with a live dribble going between the legs or any exchange dribble. Then they're taking a man into a high screen and roll action. First, we want to have the player engage the screen, step in front to get the defensive player to be able to commit and make contact. If the guy locks and trails on the screen, then the player is going to hold the player behind them, the defensive player, and then use their feet to create separation. So they do a pound dribble to probe the defense. They split to make separation, attack the basket with a right or left hand drive and an opposite hand finish on an inside reverse. Very, very dynamic move with a lot of different options. The probe allows you to be able to see the court so you can pull up or make a pocket pass, as well as being able to come off the screen with 3 options.
Spread. Good. Nice. Good. So you don't want to waste your energy. Off you. Here. Hold. Right? Everything else is just support. Right? Got it. Kick. 1, 2, 3. Here. Right? Good. Hold off where I'm at. Good. Good shot.
Here you have what we call basketball toughness and being able to fight for a spot. As an offensive player, what you always want to do is be able to have space to be able to create a shot, a dribble lane, or a passing angle for somebody on your team. As a defensive player, you want to crowd the offensive player so you can block their vision and not be able to have them see the court. So specifically working on offense, we're using a jab step, a rip over move, and a shot fake, all while keeping our butt down, being in control, being physical, and being able to use our body, our arms, our shoulders, and our legs while keeping balance and still being on attack. And then once we come out of that, when you're fatigued, being able to rip through, take one hard machine gun dribble into a shot.
Pass to me. Face cut. Hand out. Fill. Hit you. Let's go in the box. Set it. Dribble penetration, Mel. Dribble penetration, put in the lane. Come off it. You dribble penetrate, spray. All right.
So this is a unique drill that we're working on with two different options. So we're engaging both players by starting off with a pass to the wing and what's called a face cut or a UCLA cut. The player UCLA cuts hard to draw the defense, then the player from the wing receives and fills. So as myself, I'm receiving on the strong side of the ball. The player from the weak side of the ball then comes up to receive a pass back to me. I'm going as an offensive player screening. The player from who made the face cut is now flattening out with his back to the baseline and then kind of probing and setting up the defender to be able to come off a down screen for me. First, we set up a fade off of the down screen, and then the next option is a dribble handoff. While this action is happening, the player who receives the ball on the fill will dribble penetrate to get 2 feet in the lane and be able to create, drawing the defense and creating a passing angle, or attacking the defender on the up leg and then be able to create a dribble handoff. It's all about spacing and creating angles for the other offensive player to score.
Oh, man, E, come on, man. Now, that's what I'm talking about, the proper way to train. If you got an opportunity to watch, just notice how he constantly explains what he's looking for. Trainers, I hope you guys get an opportunity to take a page out of this book. Please, if you have to, watch it again. It is not to knock you. Like I said, there's no one training the trainers, but it starts with your temperament. I played ball, I played at a high level, and I hated when people screamed at me. Therefore, I'm able to understand, wow, maybe I should not take that approach. What do you feel, E? I mean, you really did a great job, man. It's like nothing more I can say but intro you in, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Again, man, I want to be able to connect with the kids at their level, right? These are kids who are basketball kids. So these kids came to the park to get trained. They came to do this session. So for me, I understand they're already locked in. They came with intensity. They came with passion. So now all that's left for me to do is teach. They didn't cheat me on the drills. They didn't cheat themselves on the drills. So now I can get into the strategy stuff, the technical stuff, because the effort is there, even when they got tired. You know, we got, weighted basketballs and defensive drills. And one of the things I will say, man, create and build complete basketball players. Trainers, find a way to incorporate some defense in your sessions.
Very big.
And we tried to show that, man. You can teach defense just like you can teach offense, and it's just as valuable. And two-way players nowadays are far and few between, especially on a high school level. So,
no question.
I'm going to defer all of the credit, and I'm going to give the credit to the kids. They made the video and they did the work. So, kudos to them, salute to them.
And I'm the producer. I'm going to give you the credit for the training. How about that?
I appreciate it, man, and I receive it. And we agreed that we would do more sessions and highlight more kids because that's what we do. we give exposure, and we try to help. So hopefully this episode helped you. You gained valuable insight, and you guys are going to implement some of the stuff into your training and teaching regimen. There it is, man. You
Yes,
got
sir.
it. Free Smoke, bottom to the top hoops. Big shout out to the team. D Jones, Jerry Ice, everybody, City Legends, bottom to the top. Who you shouting out, L?
Hey, I want to shout out to the Decisions family. We back rolling. We was filming yesterday. We getting to it. Shout out to my nephew. He's still doing his thing with his podcast.
You gotta know that.
Shout out to all the filmmakers, because it's very hard in this day and era to be a filmmaker. So I give kudos to filmmakers, to writers, but I live and give the big credit to him.
Yes, sir. Shout out to God always. Yo, man, check us out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple TV, BCom TV. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like it. Follow us at The Black Elvis, at Eric Jones 1481. Peace.